Yeah, somebody once said our 20s are for learning. When I heard that, I was so easy, like it became so easy for me to not really push myself to the wall because maybe of a goal that I have not achieved. Because you see, when you see maybe your fellow people, not from a comparison way of thinking, but from a point of yes, they are actually doing what they are doing and they look like they are actually doing well in whatever that they are doing. Not realizing that these people, they once were somewhere and they had to begin from somewhere. So when I heard that my 20s are actually just meant for me to be learning, and I do not have to have achieved that end goal, my end goal, by maybe at the end of even 2025, I became relaxed. And not relaxed from a point of I don't want to do anything further about it, but from a point of let me put my time and energy on learning, because I realized that when I was especially doing these online courses, I'm like, why am I focusing so much, putting so much energy on learning? But now that quote just changed my mindset that Welcome back to the Balance It podcast. Balance It is a platform that empowers young men and women to live a purposeful life.
We delve into conversations relating to purpose-driven living, wellness, health, fitness, and lifestyle in general. I'm your host, I'm Gertrude Nasike.
And I am Eda Onyoni.
So, in today's shout out, Prime Skill Galaxy commented that, cheers ladies, I'm loving the conversation. It's all about what one puts in their mind too. To spend, to save, and to invest are all important, but one surely needs a plan in place. Just like you can save, you can invest without having a savings, you can't save without having satisfied your needs. So to be safe is to kill the habit of unnecessary spending, and all the others will follow.
Hey, prime skill.
That was deep.
Oh, wow.
And very relatable.
Yeah. Or maybe we can focus on also getting another new source of income.
That makes sense. But now the problem is, even if you get the new source of income, but your spending is still wayward, then it's not going to help you. Because like money runs away from bad managers, you know. So no matter how much you would get, you'll just spend it and not have any remaining. So I think putting it in mind that you need to look into your spending, have mindful spending habits, then can really be a starting point. And then getting a new source of income is good enough as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Prime Skill, for that, because that is basically an introduction for us into the new year, as today we will be going to start to talk about our goal setting for 2025. So majorly we are going to talk about we're going to reflect on how our 2024 was, and what we are going to carry on onto 2025. And
and so just to start us off, we're going to look at our first episode for the Balance It podcast was all about goal setting, and that was the first time we posted on this channel. And if you can go back, we had written down ways in which you can set your goals and then track them. But we had already written our goals, right?
Yes.
And just to start on our reflections, what do you think if you've reviewed your goals right now, what is your assessment on your achievements, on how you showed up this past year for the goals, and your general satisfaction?
Yeah, I can say in because I did my reviewing of my goals. First of all, I was doing it with the accountability group that we had. And then after some time, I started doing it now on a monthly basis. And then now for the whole year, I did it in November. That was my first time of doing like a whole year assessment. And I just wanted to see where I am at and what I need to do in my last month. To what I need to finish up on in the last month as I move to the new year.
Yeah.
And I realized that I'm actually almost at, in November I was at around 80% done. And I can attribute that majorly to the accountability bit of how the year has been, and also just being intentional with what I wanted. Because when we started this YouTube channel and us having that first episode dropping on this YouTube channel, I think it clicked something in my mind that I cannot just be preaching this to people, but I have to do it as an individual, so that I'm not just speaking out of helping people, but I am preaching what I am actually practicing. So yeah, so in November I was at 80% accomplished. I right now, as we are moving to the new, as we are in the new year, I am not still at 100%, but I am moving on with a clear narrative that I am here, and this is what I am moving into the new year with. And I am moving into the new year with the previous one that I had not accomplished, and that is what I'm going to begin the new year with. But 2024 I can say was a really great year for me, and I can say also that was the year that I can say I managed to actually accomplish more than 50%.
Wow.
Because sometimes over the years it has been, I am going to do this, I am going to do this. You either write one or two the beginning of the year, and by July there things are very gray and you are not really on course. But this year I can say it has been such a good year, and I can attribute that to the accountability, but also first of all writing down the goal itself was a really good thing, and over time tracking it has really helped.
That's very relatable because for me, first of all, this year I'm looking forward to a greater year than last year. Last year was a game changer, and I feel like I have progressively been improving as compared to 2023. 2023, I had written down the goals, but by the time I was getting to December, a lot of things were so gray and I'm not so sure still. But this past year, the way we started and we said we're going to be accountable, it really changed things. Overall, I would put my assessment at around 75 to 80% also. Just between 75 to 80%, because I'm not also completely achieved all my goals this year. But the fact that as much as I've not achieved the goals, there were specific areas of the goals that I managed to really stay consistent with throughout the year really changed my mindset. And the fact that I was really accountable to the people I had made a commitment with to move through this journey of goals this past year, and also just having the intentionality to actually act on them this past year has really been a game changer. And I'm so grateful, especially also to you and some other accountability partners, because I've really managed to stay on course. And just as you, I'm getting into the new year with more clarity, with a mindset of it is actually possible. It's possible to set goals that are big and realistic to you, and actually carry them to completion through actionable steps. If actually you just have the right mindset, you're very intentional about your why and the need for you to change, and have an accountability partner, because there are those days that are really hard, but these are people who are going to help you stay on track afterwards.
And even tap into their energy, because I remember last year was sometimes I would wake up and feeling I totally do not feel like working out. But who is Gertrude? Gertrude will be send send that photo that you have worked out for the day. That was it. And then also there were times that I could feel that it is heavy, that whatever that I want to do is way beyond me. But seeing people around me achieve bigger things made me realize that, oh, if they can actually achieve that, I can also achieve whatever that I think is bigger in my mind.
Wow.
Yeah, so that tapping into the energy was really helpful for me through the accountability bit of it.
Wow, that's really awesome. So what would you say are maybe the biggest wins from your previous year?
My
biggest highlights in terms of goals, things that when you look at them, you're like, I'm glad I carried them through the entire year and I actually managed to achieve, even if it's one or two.
Number one was Balance It. Balance It podcast for me was big, because also just seeing the consistency we've been able to put through, despite the ups and downs, throughout the year, we still managed to see the year come to pass. Imagine uploading four episodes per month for 12 months.
Wow, now that you put it like that, the months that had 5
weeks
like overlapping or something.
So approximately like 40 episodes throughout the entire year. That was big for me, and just seeing us being able to accomplish that also just helped me in my personal life, things that I am doing. Also, I've been consistent also with my platform, the influencer. I have been consistent very much, and I'm grateful that I'm getting clients. Thank you guys. Thank you for hearing and just coming to the website to also get the help that you are getting. The influencer was another big thing, the consistency that I've been able to be within the influencer. Something else that has been big is myself, just taking care of myself, because I have had this battle between, I know, yes, I'm an adult, I know I need to make my own decisions, but still, growing up, there was still that attachment to somebody telling you what you're supposed to do, and now you are not really by yourself. It's like you're waiting for somebody to come, but realizing that everything that I have to achieve, everything that I want to accomplish is by my own will, and I have to make those decisions by myself. That has also been another big win, and I am grateful for that, and that is what I am also carrying with to the next year.
For me, I'm so grateful for consistency in different facets of life. Consistency in fitness. I like working out, but this past year
on another level.
This was on a different level. And I love the fact that I keep growing as compared to how I have been before. Every year I keep growing, and last year was a really highlight. Another thing is financial literacy. I've been very intentional this year, just mindfully being present in trying to learn more about finances, being open to learning from experts or from friends who really know about financial issues, how to save, how to invest, how to stop bad financial habits, just learning and constantly being open, being consistent in this has really been a great thing. And I think another highlight for me has just been being grateful. Sometimes life really happens, and there's another quote I had yesterday, someone saying, flowers don't bloom all year long.
True.
And it just dawned on me how life happens and how life happened through the year. There are days where you are so high, there are days where you are extremely low, you needed to just drag yourself to do some things. But the fact that through all these different seasons, I was always consistent with just being grateful. Sometimes I would just wake up and just be grateful for just seeing that day. That was totally enough. And I really love that consistency. And I think it's something that I will still carry on to the next year. And also, as you said before, carry whichever parts of my previous year's goals that I have not achieved, start with them for next year.
And do you have and do you have any losses that you think you are leaving behind in 2022?
In 2022, I think things that I would be leaving behind is procrastination. I remember I noticed this past year, as much as I've been very consistent in a number of things, there has been also an aspect of procrastination in other areas of my life. Sometimes you really know you're supposed to do this assignment, but thank God this year we are done with school. So
greater levels.
Maybe you're supposed to do this assignment, but you keep telling yourself, I'll do it later. Or just sometimes you have to act on something, but you start giving yourself excuses. But I'm so glad at the close of the year, I got these other accountability partners that would, like, you would just see how they're portraying themselves, their work ethic, the way they're showing up in every area of their life, and you would feel drawn to that energy and feel the need to actually change and do things as up, and let them come from you. And I love that the last quarter of the year, I started drawing from this kind of energy of the people around me, and the procrastination habits kept living. Or I started now doing other things immediately. If I'm supposed to do something, I'm just doing it immediately and on to the next, because I noticed, by the way, emotions don't give results.
Excuses do not.
You're going to be sad, or maybe you're hungry, or you don't feel like doing it, but you're actually supposed to do it. Just do it and move. You will thank yourself later, because I feel like at that point where you're really struggling and dragging yourself, that's where the change is gonna happen. That's the line where most people are going to stop at. And if you manage to cross over to the other line, then you're going to be the unique one, and you're going to get reward from. So I think that's one big loss that I'm going to leave behind: procrastination.
For me, I would say beating myself down so much in case I don't get to achieve what I was supposed to achieve. Over like, even on the podcast, I've been saying, do not beat yourself down. And most of the time I was speaking to myself. But now that is something that I want to leave behind, focusing on the influencer and focusing on the 5 pillars that I normally say that you have to have a holistic life. You need to ensure that all these things are in order in your life, and you need to have a balance of all these things. I came to realize it's not really about having a balance, but having harmony of all these things. So it's just changing the wording, but and also how you show up, how I show up in all those specific elements. So beating myself down is something that I want to leave. And even if, like, when I'll be setting my new year goals, it will be from a point of, even if I just want to focus on only fitness for the month, it's okay with me. I don't have to focus on financial, as long as my finances are, I can see they are somewhat okay. But right now I just want to perfect my fitness. I don't want to think about all these things, because I realized when I am beating myself down and I'm not moving, then I'm not moving. So that is something that I'm moving.
So
from.
That's really a good way to put it. Just giving grace to yourself changes very differently. Like, it makes you even happy. Because you're not sad every time, like, I did not achieve this.
And once you see that one area of your life is doing well, high chances the ripple effect is going to be really positive to all these other areas.
That's really well put. And now, to the new year.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to, and how different are you going to set your goals this year? Yes.
Yeah, as I said, I'm going to first of all start with the things that I did not accomplish last year, and just reflecting on really why I didn't accomplish them. So once that is out of the way, then now I start focusing on what I didn't accomplish, and then now I move on to the next thing that I want to accomplish for the year. But also, as I have said, right now my focus is going to be, I don't want to really bombard myself with so many things. I want to go step by step, by step, because even for a baby, you have to start from somewhere. You can't just be talking about all these things together all together without making one small step each and every time. So yeah, right now I'm just going to focus on one specific thing at a month per month. So if I am going to perfect my physical fitness in 1 month, I am going to do the 21 challenge day and be able to know that I can be able to create that habit in my mind. And once that habit has been created and I feel comfortable, then now I can move on to the next big thing that I believe is big for me in my life. So that is how I'm going to change how I am going to write my goals. And then the other thing is writing down goals as if I have already accomplished them. So if I am saying that I am going to, let's say, be posting 20 blogs, if I want to be posting 20 blogs, let's say, per month, I am going to say that I have posted 20 blogs this month. That is also something else that I learned, which is what I want to implement when I am writing down my goals. The last thing is where I am going to write those goals. Last year, I wrote my goals online. And then now, when I wanted to review my goals, I was wondering, where did I write those goals? Was it in this? Because I normally have my personal group. So was it in this group? I searched, I didn't find them. And finally, either way, I got them. And then after I got them, the next month again, when I wanted to review them, I had forgotten where. So that is something also that you guys need to, because you realize that where you write your goals also matters and also gives you that motivation to either continue or even forget about them. Especially if you don't have that accountability, you don't get to even remember. So also where to write those goals is something else. But this time I'll still continue doing online, but now I have a specific thing, because if I go physical, I am going to lose that book. Now that is my problem.
Why did you read my mind? Because I was just like, why can't you finish speaking? I want to tell you, just get a book.
No, that book is going.
Why is it going to get lost?
Because I have different diaries and I write different things in different books. And when I want to get a specific diary, sometimes I tend to forget where I put that.
How many diaries do you have?
Like 3 of them.
Only 3?
3. But the problem is, you might find sometimes, maybe when I come to your place, I might leave one there. And maybe or it is in a different bag. And when I am at your place, I need that other diary. So I don't easily get whatever that I need. And I can't always be working with 3 diaries everywhere that I go.
Okay, that's you just do what works for you. Because just to add, I would just share what worked for me this year. For me, I prefer writing my goals like physically. Literally, physically on pen or on paper using a pen. And what I did this year, initially I used to have a diary for a number of things. At the front, maybe I would have my goals, and at the back I would have the to-do lists. So it's like they're coming together like that. But what I did this year is I specifically got a different book specifically just for goals. And on top of it, I've actually written 2024 goal book. I think no, I won't. We can share a photo, of just how I've done it. I've written 2024 goal book, and in this book, I have my goals for every month. So I have goals for like January goals. Categorize them into maybe fitness, financial, intellectual, spiritual, business and career goals, and then relationship goals as well. So every month I have those areas, and in a month that I felt like I've not achieved most of it, for the next month, I'm not going to set new goals. I will rewrite what I've not achieved in the previous month and put more effort that month. So that's what has been working for me. But if you feel like online is going to work for you and a specific way to do it online, then that's also perfect. Yeah. So, and I think for me, it makes me happy because while reviewing, I normally write literally my thoughts about that specific thing. I can even use a different color of pen. It helps me to really deeply analyze why I did not do something or what actions failed, Yeah. So that's why I love like the goal book. And this new year I've gotten also a new goal book. Yeah. Just to write on it 2025 goals. And what I do is I write the entire year goals first of all, and then now start having the monthly goals.
It's funny how we are totally different because I tried that now in 2023, the physical writing. I started very well the year, wrote down all my goals. But now that book, I honestly don't know where it went. But when I need it, I will find it.
You will find it.
But yeah. But
anyway, you can just do what works.
What works,
Yeah, that would be okay. And another thing I wanted to say, another thing that I will keep doing, or I'm looking forward to keep doing in the new year, is I have always been setting SMART goals, but the element of measuring my goals has not always been very clear. I've always had maybe I just know approximately, but I've never been very distinct. So I think this new year I'm going to be very distinct on how I measure my goals. Last year I tracked my goals really well. It helped me to get a probable view of how I'm performing. But this year I'm now going to be very intentional in specific measurements of specific goals so that I can have the clarity I need to know which areas I need to tighten, which areas I need to loosen, and which areas I need to just do away with.
Yeah, somebody once said our 20s are for learning. When I heard that, I was so easy, like it became so easy for me to not really push myself to the wall because maybe of a goal that I have not achieved. Because you see, when you see maybe your fellow people, not from a comparison way of thinking, but from a point of yes, they are actually doing what they are doing and they look like they are actually doing well in whatever that they are doing, not realizing that these people, they once were somewhere and they had to begin from somewhere. So when I heard that my 20s are actually just meant for me to be learning, and I do not have to have achieved that end goal, my end goal, by maybe at the end of even 2025, I became relaxed, and not relaxed from a point of I don't want to do anything further about it, but from a point of let me put my time and energy on learning, because I realized that when I was especially doing these online courses, I'm like, why am I focusing so much, putting so much energy on learning? But now that quote just changed my mindset that now let me just put my energy on learning, on understanding and growing my skills. And and now the measurable bit of it is very important, because now you can be learning, but you're actually not applying whatever that you. So
that's very true. They normally say do your 10,000 hours and then you will master a skill.
Yeah.
So that's very well put, actually. Yes.
All right. So now, because we've been singing about community, accountability in our last year. Do you think that is something that you're going to continue with?
Yes, I'm definitely going to continue with. Just maybe be extra intentional, especially with the goals accountability group. This time we need to do it all year long, you know, and also just showing up to areas that have like-minded people, you know, people who are where we want to be,
Yes.
you know, and finding mentors. I feel like that is a very important thing in this new year to help you achieve your goals. Like, have mentors. You can have mentors in different areas of your life. They would really help achieve your goal. That's also being part of a community, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you think people can be able to either get these partners or accountability partners, or even the mentors that you're talking about?
First of all, I would say you can look around your circle of friends. There are those friends you feel like you're very aligned in personal development or whichever area of life you want to move forward. That's the first place to look at, and you guys can just discuss and decide to be intentional with staying accountable to each other. Secondly, you can look within your communities. If you go to church, to a mosque, to a temple, or whichever place you worship or have that sense of a community, that's where you can network and find mentors. It can be also at a gym, hiking group. That's where you can find mentors. Another way is also looking for people who are where you are professionally on these professional job websites or networking websites like LinkedIn. You can easily find people who can guide you through your career path or your businesses, you know, or your goals generally. But just learn how to warmly reach out to them so that you're not just asking them for mentorship at the first go, you know.
Yeah.
No, most of them would not even respond to your text.
Yeah.
But try and find a way to really be in that community, and then you can now find those who you can align and just have normal conversations. Sometimes being mentored is not all about having this specific person either to have a 10 minutes call with me every week. No, sometimes it's just through the conversations you would have, and from it you can now point out areas of growth and areas of learning, you understand? Yeah. So basically you can check out from those areas.
Yeah. All right. I think we can wrap it there.
Yeah, we can wrap it there. And remember not to beat yourself for the goals you didn't achieve last year.
Yes.
This is a new year and it's 2025. You can start again. But just make sure this time you start with intentionality, more accountability, and less procrastination.
Yes. And just do it. Just do it. What will happen? Like, what is the worst thing that is going to happen if you try and fall down? You'll just stand up, wipe off yourself, and continue.
Yes.
Now you'll be continuing from a point of you have the learnings, you have the experience, and you will continue even in a better position to even grow. And also something else is, let's try to work on ourselves. Let us identify what our values are, because once we identify what our values are, what our purpose is, it's easy to get people who are aligned with us in those specific areas that you want to grow in. So start with doing the inner work. Stop always blaming the other person that you did not help me grow in my fitness journey. You did not take me to the gym. You did not carry me with you to that conference. Start with yourself. Start with yourself.
No one owes you anything, actually.
No one owes you anything, and no one is coming. No one is coming to push you.
And that's a good way to wrap the session. And Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And until next time.
Bye-bye.